All right, yeah. If you guys hear me okay, I'll
Hey,
go.
everybody, this is Dr. J, Sky Kamal, and Professor Omar Suleiman from New York, where the weather
Hello.
is HHH. What is- Who knows what HHH is? Who knows what HHH is? Do you know, Professor
Most
Omar?
most of our audience, most of our audience should,
Hazy, hot, and
especially,
humid.
especially if you live on the
That's
East
New
Coast.
York.
Yeah, if you live on the East Coast, you know hazy, hot, and humid.
Yeah.
And you also know HHH. I think the WMCA good guys used to always talk about HHH.
Um,
Roll
but
out those lazy, hazy, crazy days
right.
of summer. If only summer could last all year long. By now, everybody's
All right.
switched.
So right. So now, since you brought that up, who sang that song?
One of them,
One of
Happy
them.
Harrison. Happy Harrison.
Harry
Happy.
I
Harrison
don't
was.
remember.
That's funny. I thought you said Harry Harrison.
I don't know if it was Happy Harrison. I don't know.
The song was sung by Nat King Cole.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never would
So
have
we'll
known
see.
that.
We'll see if how much of our audience has been tuned into those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer.
Now, let's see how many of our audience even know who Nat King Cole it was.
Yeah.
Funny.
You know, we're not exactly young.
No, I know. We definitely bring the
Maybe
average
maybe maybe,
viewership up.
maybe they heard of Natalie Cole, right?
Right. Maybe. Maybe.
You know, they did a
So how
duet
did?
together. After he died, they did a duet together.
Yes.
The
Yes, they
miracles
did.
of technology, you know. You got a question, Professor Omar?
Well,
Uh,
You want to read the
it's
question?
been a long time. Yeah. I didn't check that. There was a long, long time ago.
You want to
Yeah.
read the question so the audience might participate?
Yes. What is that? Yeah. Will you ever get back into what is that? Yeah, if it's a Chinese financial, I think, company, just like Sophie and the Tiger. It's been a long time I didn't look at their charts. And how do we pronounce this? Futu,
Food.
FUTU, right?
Yeah, a few to you.
Yeah, the chart looks really great. Uh, but I really don't myself. I don't trade. I have only a handful of stocks that I'm watching, and once we get the correction, if we get the correction, I will go all in. And I don't trade the Chinese stocks anymore. So,
yeah.
Mantis,
Those
Mantis,
those are almost as dangerous. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Mantis sold a chunk today, big fat chunk of an Ovis at 14.45, and
Really?
bought back at 13.2,
Oh, okay. He was expecting a little bit of a swing.
and he got it.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
So I guess that gives me license to play around with that one also.
Today was not bad for everybody, but it certainly wasn't good for
Right.
Dr. J. Professor, take over. Go into the charts.
okay. Uh, Actually, the Russell did very, very good today. That's why actually
Yeah,
many
the
stocks,
IWM this morning was up pretty high.
yeah, and it finished the day very high as well. Um, and the bios as well, XBI.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, you see, it's 3% up the Russell IWM, and this is just one of those cases where you have divergence between large caps and small caps, and going back in history, I think the there was one time where this happened. It was in 2000, believe it or not, right before the bubble bursted. Uh, I don't know. I can go there and show you
Uh,
if you have some time.
it's a tale of two markets.
Yeah. So you see here, I'm just gonna put this the Russell here. Where's the Russell? So I have S&P here, the Russell down here. If we go down to 2000, what is it? You're gonna see. Um, am I there? No. There you go. You see here, right at the top, and you see on this side here, you see S&P 500 was going down while the Russell was going up for a period of time. Actually, it's very very pronounced. I mean, you can see it. And then what happens is it's the end. I don't know if it's going to be the same this time, but it's worth noticing.
Joe Terranova was on CNBC in the last hour, and he's a big time trader, you know. And Ed Yardini was on, and before him or during the same time, another big guru. And Ed Yardini was saying it's healthy, this broadening today that we're getting of the IWM. But Terranova said, no, it's not a broadening. What it is a rotation out of the Mag 7 and into the small caps. So
Yeah,
he was more precise. It was really a rotation, not a broadening.
of course. I mean, broadening I mean, they supposed to go. There's a huge correlation. Every time you have a bull market, you have a huge correlation. Everything goes up at the same time. But when you see something like that, Nasdaq is minus 2% and the Russell is almost 4%. On the upside is not normal. This is not healthy,
No.
in my opinion.
Well, if this is just due to interest rates, where I think Dr. J a couple of weeks ago was saying that the smaller caps would be happier with the interest rate cuts,
Of course,
whereas it's spit in the ocean for the Mag 7.
absolutely,
Right? So if
absolutely.
that's the case, that could be a way of explaining this because
The
we did
ca-
just
the ma- that is a way of
That
explaining,
is the way.
but obviously traders acted on that.
Absolutely. The only
does
thing.
that portend a bubble on the bigger caps?
Well, maybe it was a little bit overbought, the bigger caps, but there's plenty of money plenty of money sitting in money market funds that are going down, and as the interest rates go down, so will they go down, and what they
Right.
and plenty of money that will be tempted to go back into the big names. So you might get a pullback of as much as 10% in the big names, but they'll come back. That's my feeling.
I think the narrative is going to shift towards the recession talk.
Oh, really?
Whether the inflation numbers this morning was deflation or was just inflation
There
taming
was,
down.
there
So
was no inflation today. What was it month over month, Professor Elma? Was it
it's 0.1.
It
It was
was
expecting
it was
0.2.
0.1? If you
it was overall 3.0 instead of 3.1
that's 1/10 of 1%.
It's still
for the
below
year.
expectations.
1/10
Yeah,
of 1%. Is that right?
for the year.
A month over
Yeah.
month, not for the year. Month over
The
month.
Hold on.
yearly
I don't know if
number.
you see my screen here.
1/10 of 1%. That means that's nothing. Over 12 months, that's is that what it was? 1/10 of 1%.
I didn't see the monthly number.
The
Did
month
you?
over month is 0.1%, and the expectation was 0.2.
Oh,
And
really? All right.
0.1 is really a lot.
It's 0.1 is very, very
That's
little.
That's 1 basis point. That's nothing.
I mean, if I'll ask Alexa to compute what it is for the year. Alexa, What is
It's yeah,
one point?
it's 1.2%. So you're right. It's
No,
not very.
no, no.
I mean,
It's point.
it's
No,
point
you
one
think
two. Yes, 0.12%.
It's
12
three.
basis
Yes,
points.
it's 3% year over year, and the consensus was three
yeah,
point
that's
one.
what it was year over
Right.
year.
Yeah, and the previous reading was 3.3%.
Right, but if you do 0.1% compounded over 12 intervals, you get not, it's like nothing.
Hmm.
Right.
It's like nothing. It's like
It's
1%.
less than a basis point. Yeah.
I understanding that. I think the more important thing is the trend where it's going. It's not really the,
That I agree.
yeah.
For a year, it's looking like you're looking at very modest growth.
Well, the employment numbers were looking a little squishy also. So maybe Professor Omar's right, and the talk of recession might be coming back.
If it's with numbers like we had today, they should go in July. They shouldn't even wait.
I would
Yeah.
tend to agree.
They should lower at the end of the month.
Because they see the signs. He's just being
Yeah,
gun shy.
I mean, what do you have to wait for full-fledged recession before you
Yeah.
lower?
Right. Well, how else are you gonna
Everybody
create
now
October
is expecting
surprise?
September.
Yeah. Well, how are you going to create
What I'm
an
saying
October
is they
surprise by
shouldn't
doing it
wait.
in
They
July?
should not wait until September. They should go now.
Mm.
They should go now. They won't,
I
but
agree with you.
they probably won't, but they should.
It could be, surprise. You never know. It's
The Fed is always a day late and a dollar short.
mm.
Kamal is back. Kamal, what do you think? Should the Fed go in July or wait till September?
I think they should wait till September.
You do. No emergency.
No,
The economy is not heading into recession.
I don't think the economy is heading to recession.
Mm.
I don't think so.
I think if they wait too long, it'll get there.
The thing is,
Yeah.
when I go to supermarkets, to Costco, and I see the lines and I see how much people are buying and the carts, like people are like spending like crazy.
Yeah, but
Because it's summer, so it's different.
isn't Costco like a discount store where
Yeah,
Well,
and the thing,
you cannot walk out of Costco without like at least $150.
Yeah, but aren't people nickel and diming to go there? They're not going to the local supermarket. That means.
Well, they're buying in bulk.
yeah,
So they're
'Cause,
looking.
yeah, even Pepsi said that things weren't looking good for them.
Yeah,
Pepsi,
because of the
And this is the
boycott.
middle of the summer.
It's different
Pepsi said bad things about the economy.
Yeah, exactly.
because people are
They're saying
boycotting them.
that the consumers are why would they boycott Pepsi?
Well, it's not Pepsi; it's Fritos and all of that other crap.
Right.
really.
How much is a
Because
box?
the Ozempic
How much is a box?
ruining their appetites.
How much is a bag of Frito-Lay corn chips or whatever they're called?
It used to be like $2. Now it's like more like $4.
I mean, that's ridiculous for a bag of corn
Yep.
chips.
It is. It
No
used to be
wonder,
like $1.99. Now it's like $3.99.
no wonder Pepsi is hurting. They're overcharging. Let them charge more modest numbers. How much can a bag of Fritos corn chips cost them?
Well, the air in the bag, isn't that like dark matter?
Right. Yeah. You forget about the air in the bag. Yeah. That thing.
That's
You gotta
that can't be
sniff that.
fun.
You gotta sniff that when you open.
The funny thing is, I like Fritos corn chips. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're very crunchy.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't know if I'm paying $4 for a bag.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make me happy. I haven't had it in years. Not because of the money, just my wife won't buy it, and I don't go into the supermarket hardly ever.
It's garbage.
I'll bring you some. I'll bring you some.
You bring me some when we meet for lunch next. You'll bring a bag of Fritos.
Okay.
All right. So
Did you guys go over MicroStrategy, please? Did you guys go over it?
Professor
No,
Omar's got the charts.
we didn't go over anything so far.
Omar, take it away.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just a few thoughts, Dr. J. I think we agreed on at least on this one, right? The fib expansion here, right? Fib extension to 1 point to 61 percent, right? So 5638, we're right there, and we expect something, at least some pullback here.
What was the actual 1.618 extension? What was it?
It was 538. I'm sorry, 5638, and we get to 5642. So it's like just 44 points, and then we reversed.
You're talking SPX?
SPX, I'm talking.
What
Yes.
does that translate into in SPY?
It's not very. You just divide by 10, pretty much, right? So
Not sure. I think I got
let me see.
560 and change.
I'm gonna give you exactly the number. It's 561.48, and we want to 562.33. So less than 1 point, right? And
Whatever it is, it basically went
Yeah.
up today and came back down.
absolutely. And we had the engulfing. So if we get tomorrow, if we break the low, I think it's a very high chance that serious correction is underway.
Kamal, what do you say about Fridays after a bad Thursday?
Usually it's also a red day.
Yeah, Kamal don't like that.
It's usually a bad day.
If you have a red Thursday, Friday is usually a red day as well.
Either we get Friday, bad Friday, or a bad Monday. I mean, if we go below today's low, high chance we're gonna get a very bad day, Friday or Monday. And then
I have a feeling about this pullback. It's either going to be 3 to 5% total, or it's going to be 10%. One or the other.
I think. Well, I don't know. Probably it's a wishful thinking that we're gonna get to the 200 moving average, down 10%.
Look, it's very likely. We haven't had a 10% correction in a very long time.
Yes, usually you get one every year, right? And
Yeah.
we didn't have any one so far. And
Right.
elections is coming, so it's very likely that we're gonna get it before the election. Otherwise, the whole politics stinks, right? So we're gonna get 10% correction probably by end of August, and then we're gonna rally to the end until the end of the year.
Could be.
Mm.
Or we could just get another 3 to 5% correction followed by a huge rally to 610. I'm not
Possible, and the 610, Jerry. Look at this chart because it's a really really good one. Okay, look, I'm gonna go to the monthly chart. Okay, and I use the logarithmic. It's a logarithm.
right.
And now, if you go all the way back, look at that. I'm sorry. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing here.
You cannot read that, man.
Good. Hold on. You see this?
Yeah.
This is SPY. No. Let me pull the SPX. There you go. You see here? This is a monthly, okay?
Yeah.
This is 1929. Here. This is 1929.
You're going back a bit.
Yes, that's the bubble. This is 2000. You connect those two dots there, and guess what do we get? We're going to get right almost there at 6,000.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's a lot of... you see the thing? It's right. We're right here.
There's a
We're almost right there.
There's a children's game called Connect the Dots. Is that what you're playing?
That's exactly what I'm playing.
1929. Are you for real?
Yeah. And then you connect that to 2000. But on logarithmic scale, of
All
course.
has a rule. He only looks back 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, no,
My memory cannot go back. I mean,
that just
that's
tells
funny.
you just tells you that we are in somehow a bubbly area.
I see.
You
Look,
connect the two bubbles together and you get the same thing and on logarithmic scale, which means that we have been going exponential.
So you're talking crash. You're not talking a correction.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but it could be it's something nasty. I mean, you could get corrections just like in the 70s, right? We're gonna go down 3400, then go up to 6,000, 7,000, then go back again 3400, and for next 10 years or so, something like that, without having something like 29 or some,
I
some
see your
nasty
point.
thing.
I see your point.
Yeah.
And do you think that crash will affect crypto a lot, right?
You very very likely, because usually that's the when you have a recession or depression, people just get rid of the
Professor Omar, can you see what's on the screen that Mantis wrote?
what is it?
Can you read what Mantis wrote?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
You cannot see it?
He's on the screen. He's on
Ah,
the screen.
You want to read it out loud?
No, no, no. Let's not do that. So this is gonna happen
that's
probably.
my own stuff. That's 20 years of looking at charts.
Wow.
So Kamal is scared to read it out loud.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to read that out loud. The thing is, I mean, I see the dots, man. We're trying to connect the dots and the writing on the wall.
Yeah, there is another also trend line. Look at this one.
Professor Omar, one more comment I want you to read.
Oh, a comment again. Good.
You don't read out loud. Okay, fine.
So
We all can read. We all can read.
Yes.
I know I don't want to be scary or whatever, but
No, you have a point.
somebody has to
I see
be
your point.
very careful about this. I mean, look at this. This is just a regular chart, right? You take 2008 low, you connect it with the recent high in 2022, right? And we are just right there as well. So
Yes.
this is a huge resistance there. There will be some correction. If we don't get correction, we penetrate. This is going to be, the next is going to be even worse. The next decline is going to be even worse.
Let me tell you a little story. 4 or 5 months ago, I met a very, very powerful Wall Street person who told me, I complained to the person that there hasn't been a correction in a while. And she says there's not going to be until maybe summer months, maybe August. So if it happens now, she'll be pretty close.
If you look, this actually looks a lot like 68, right, in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's almost the same thing.
68 was also an election year.
It was an election day, and we had a decline in August, and then we kept going until the end of the year, and pretty much the same thing. The decline first was like 25-30%, then we rallied all the way to 1.6 Fibonacci extension, and then it was the top. That was the top in that case. This time I don't think it is going to be.
Professor Omar, you're a student of history.
It's charts, yes, you have to go.
I'm old.
Do you believe that history repeats itself in terms of the charts?
Of course, otherwise, all
Otherwise,
technical
why are we
analysis
studying charts?
doesn't make
Right.
any sense otherwise, right? Of course, there are always different. There are multiple inputs, right? Variables.
You want
And
to
these
know?
are only
You want to know how many times since 1929 charts have been compared to 1929 and it didn't happen?
but because recessions never bear markets never look the same.
Uh-huh.
But if you take a lot of things, all the variables together, you know that it's going to happen. But how is it going to happen? That's why it's extremely difficult to time the market. I mean, look, we always speak about targets, right? And pretty much we are, at least we have a very good win rate. But when it comes to timing, it's extremely difficult. It's
Mhm.
extremely difficult to say when exactly we're going to get there. But we're going to get there.
Okay. I'm still. I'm
You know,
putting.
Dr. J, they say history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes.
I'm going to put
Yeah, exactly.
the odds of a 10% correction down to the 200 at even money. I'm also going to put the other 40%, 40% correct that we go 3 to 5%, and about 10% that we've seen the worst of it. So that's my odds, 50%, which is pretty heavy, strong. I'm giving a big chance to the 10% correction, but not more than that. 50% chance.
Yeah, the 200 moving average, if we get there will be a lot of people buying that.
Yeah.
It's almost like a certainty if that
So the
happens.
200 moving average represents how much of a correction?
But also,
It will be like 10%.
Professor
Okay.
Spike, we got earnings beginning tomorrow, really, with J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, with banks.
Yeah, and
The
remember,
banks, right? The banks are starting.
Dr. J, I don't know if you follow. There are few indicators that indicate actually that we are already in a recession. I don't know how accurate they are, but um, I follow a few, but I don't remember the names. Few economists that they say that probably we are already there. And there is the SAM rule. I'm sure you are aware. You know it, right? Um, the SAM rule is like when unemployment rate, the average over the last 3 months, is larger than 0.5, then the low of over the 12 months, something like that. If
Could
it's
you
more than 0.5,
switch to the weekly? Como wants you to look at the 200 on the weekly.
huh?
Could you look at the 200 on the weekly? How far above are we?
The 200. Oh, the 200 is around
If you go weekly,
40. Yeah, it's around 4,300. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's right here.
That's what I think. Como is insinuating it gets as low as that.
As low as this?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's his insinuation.
Well, if we get there, that's huge.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're going to go to 6,100 before any disaster.
I expect that as well, but who knows? I mean, we could very well have this, okay, and you go here, right? Then you do this, and then you have a head and shoulder. Then in that case, probably we're gonna go even lower than that.
Yeah, I
This
don't.
is very likely.
I look. It's the market better do what I think it's going to do. I'm going to get very upset.
Exactly,
We
exactly.
don't want you to get upset.
I think the best thing is just to react to what happens, because if you most of the time, every time I lose money, because I'm biased, I have this idea that the market is going to do this, and then it just keeps
I'm
going to the other side.
I'm
that's
biased,
why it's called gambling.
but I did take 10% off the table yesterday.
Again, I think what I think is that if tomorrow we break the low right in the morning, the first thing in the morning, we break the low, chances this is going to go a little bit, a lot lower.
You want to do a Bitcoin and then we'll call it a day?
Yeah.
MicroStrategy, please.
Okay, those two.
Yeah.
MSTR. MSTR had a good day, but
It deflated end of day. It
mm,
started really strong.
it gapped and then reversed down, but still, it did not completely close the gap. 135, and yeah, it did not completely close the gap. So this can be considered as an up day.
It was an up day, whereas Bitcoin had a down day.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how many times they said this is just a buy. I mean, the worst this could go down would be around here.
50,000.
Yeah, 1,000, right?
50,000.
No. This is MSTR, MicroStrategy. So
Oh, MicroStrategy.
yeah, the worst would be 1,000, and then
So yeah, 1,000
you just cost average down, and I think
should be okay.
mm.
And we'll do Bitcoin, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah,
BTC.X.
too much doom, right?
Yeah, I'm too hot.
Sorry about that. Sometimes
I have no air conditioning.
it's what.
Really? Why not?
Also, Innovis. We got to put that up for
Oh,
technical.
Yeah.
We should.
You see here. You remember the trend line I'm sorry. What the heck? The trend line we draw here before. You see these two lows here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look, it just got there and then it bounced. As long as that trend line, the white one is held, everything is okay.
Right.
But if that is broken, I I I I don't know. Probably we can get to the 30s.
What I have is 50,000. Is about 52,000 around that. I think is a fib number.
Fib number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it needs to regain at least the 200 moving average. That's definitely.
Yeah.
And so far, you see.
And it got repelled by one of the moving averages.
Yeah, 20-day moving average.
Okay, let's do an Ovis and we'll answer Ken's question about PFE. He wants to know about Pfizer. I guess they have that fat pill coming out.
A novice.
Novus is, they got the Parkinson's drug, the Alzheimer's drug. They got, they're giving me some hope, with the Parkinson's. What do you think?
Volatility.
What do you think of the technicals, Professor Omar?
The bio are extremely difficult, Dr. J. It's just whether the company and the charts. Sometimes they just fail to. It's very difficult to read.
Well, it's been bouncing above that moving average that you have.
Yeah. It's,
what's that moving average?
479. Which one are you talking?
The line that you have. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the yellow one is the 200 moving average.
So yeah, so I think it's excellent support. What number is that?
Yes, it is. It's just the history. 3 times here it does the same, and then just to go down again.
You have lower lows, 3 lower lows in a row, right? 3 lower.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can break from this, right? Then you get something really serious. If you can break from here, but that's the whole question.
Can you draw in that descending trend line?
Yeah, that's the trend line.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Then if it breaks out of this trend line,
the key is to break out above that trend line.
Yeah.
Above resistance. And then the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, absolutely.
What's your opinion on the fat pill? Anybody got an opinion? PFE? It was up today, right? PFE?
Is that the Ozempic one?
PFE is Pfizer.
No.
I haven't heard of that one.
Instead of getting a needle, an injection like Ozempa and Mounjaro, this one is going to have just a pill.
What's the side effects?
Nothing. It makes you lose weight and makes you happy. Side effect is getting a sustained erection.
Is that for men and women or just men?
I don't know.
The side effect. Yeah.
That's,
I mean, the chart is not bad. It's building a base here, so
well, it had a nice day today, right?
yeah. And the whole chart is not bad. I mean, if you go above this high, the recent high 29, 60, 30, let's say. If you go above 30, chances it's going to continue going up.
Ken wants to know then what? Where do you think it goes up to?
If it breaks 30,
if it breaks,
I would say, hold on, I didn't check the chart, it will go at least to this, what is this? This gap here around 38, 37. At least then, that would be the first
right,
target.
so we're giving Ken an answer. If it breaks, if it breaks the recent
high.
Yeah. Then it goes to 38. Okay. All right. So let's. Oh, Ken was being funny, replying to my comment about the sustained direction. That, by the way, that's not true. I just made that up in case anybody actually thinks I'm serious. I made that up. That's just a fib. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And
thank you very much.
Keep trading. I think I may buy some of that Pfizer because of the fat pill. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.